The East Tennessee and Western North Carolina Railroad, affectionately known as the Tweetsie, once wound through the rugged highlands of eastern Tennessee and western North Carolina. The narrow-gauge railroad began operating between Johnson City, Tennessee, and Hampton in 1881, reached the iron mines at Cranberry, North Carolina in 1882, and was eventually extended to Boone in 1918. At its greatest extent, the railroad stretched approximately 66 miles through some of the most spectacular and challenging mountain terrain in the southern Appalachians. For decades, the Tweetsie carried iron ore, timber, freight, mail, and passengers between isolated mountain communities. Its nickname may have originated as a playful pronunciation of the railroad's initials, E.T. and W.N.C., or from the Tweetsie sound of its steam whistles echoing through the valleys. The beloved little railroad, however, could not compete with the growth of modern highways and truck transportation. A devastating flood in 1940 severely damaged the line between Cranberry and Boone, leading to the abandonment of that section. The remaining narrow-gauge route through the mountains continued operating for another decade. On October 16, 1950, the last narrow-gauge revenue train made its final run between Elizabethton and Cranberry. Standard gauge freight service between Johnson City and Elizabethton continued for many years afterward. The closing of the narrow-gauge line also brought an end to regular rail service through the breathtaking Doe River Gorge. With towering cliffs, dense forests, rushing water, and a rail bed carved into the mountainside, the gorge was one of the most scenic and inaccessible sections of the entire Tweetsie route. Today, much of the gorge is privately owned and generally closed to casual visitors, although portions of the old railroad have been preserved and used for limited excursion and educational programs. Rails from later restoration efforts still follow parts of the historic right-of-way, but regular trains have not traveled through the gorge in many years. The isolation of the Doe River Gorge has also helped preserve one of the Tweetsie's most enduring ghost stories. According to stories passed down by former railroad workers, the gorge is haunted by the spirit of a laborer named Dave Gorley. Unlike many railroad ghosts whose identities have been lost to time, this apparition reportedly has both a name and a tragic history. Gorley was said to have been working in the gorge when he was caught in a rainstorm. Seeking warmth, he stood near a fire to dry his wet clothing. Tragically, dynamite and blasting caps were stored nearby. Heat from the fire reportedly caused the unstable blasting caps to explode, setting off the dynamite and killing Gorley. After his death, Tweetsie train crews claimed they sometimes saw Gorley's ghost walking beside the tracks when their trains passed through the gorge at night. His lonely figure was said to appear in the darkness, silently following the rails through the remote canyon where he had lost his life. The Tweetsie trains are long gone from the Doe River Gorge, and only a limited number of people now travel deep enough into the canyon to walk the old right-of-way. Yet, according to local legend, Dave Gorley may still be there, wandering the tracks and keeping watch over one of the most beautiful and mysterious stretches of the old railroad.